Hello and welcome to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. What are we going to play today? I actually haven't decided yet. Let's take a look at our subscribed tab. Zika, Undertale, Will of the Gaullist, Dank Memes, Anti-Plague, Bronyism, Vampire Plague, you know what, let's go ahead and do After the Plague. After the Plague sounds pretty fun. No one knows how the plague started, but we all know how it ended. How it decimated whole continents before killing all its hosts. Now the world is in total anarchy, there's no global travel, and only remote populations survive in large numbers. You must take control, establish order, and form a government. Gosh, is this Plague Inc. or something totally different? It's like I'm gonna play some sort of dystopian Civ 5. There are 3 separate ways you can do this, each with its own event-driven storyline leading to a unique victory condition. There are also many ways to lose. Ooh. This sounds promising. Let's give it a shot. Alright, it's a Nurax worm. Okay, so I guess we're controlling the people. That makes sense. And do I have... It appears I have absolutely no say over the DNA choices, the genetic choices, so we have New World Order. Do we want to call it New World Order? Or do we want to call it... I don't know. Yeah, I guess New World Order is fine. Never mind. I don't really feel like coming up with a whole unique name. Meh. Moving on. The Great Plague has ended. Every country is still in total anarchy, and there are no governments, no ships or planes, no international trade or communications. So presumably we're going to want to build that up. Now you must take control, establish order, and form a government. You can do this by gaining the support of the masses, transmissions, or by pandering to the affluent, symptoms, or you can use the army to seize power, abilities. You can only use traits from one of these groups to win the game. Ooh. Really? Alright, well I like how we're starting off in New Zealand of all places. That's pretty funny. Oh yeah, wow, it starts off with everything closed down. Very cool. Alright, well, why don't we take a look at some of our options. First, under transmission, we see Strategy 1, Propaganda. The masses will support you if you promise them a better world. This will be easier in poor regions, but it's chaotic and unpredictable. And we don't see anything else about the rest of the strategy, okay? And as far as symptoms, we have Strategy 2, Money. The affluent will support you if you rebuild the economy. This will be easier in wealthy regions, but it's complicated and hard to manage. Ooh, I do like that. And then lastly, Strategy 3, Force. The army will support you if you guarantee their jobs. This will be easier in all regions, but you'll have to rule with an iron fist. Oh goodness, okay. Well, gee, I don't know which one I want to go for. How about we go for the affluent? Why not? Complicated and hard to manage sounds right up my alley. No severity. Interesting. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We do get infectivity, though. It costs us 2 points. Bam. Done. So, I still have access to everything else, I think. But I have to use one of... Yeah, I can, but only one of these can win the game. But I think I can still access transmission and stuff, so if we want that, we will. So this leads to printing cash. That's inflation. Printing more cash will increase your money supply overnight, bonus DNA, but it might lead to rapid hyperinflation. Oh, cool, they got the idea right. Bonus DNA. From what? From bubbles? Or just from spreading? Possibly. Printing cash might be good. Open markets. Open your economy to market forces and relax state control. But there's no governments or countries. The world is in anarchy. What kind of market can we really expect to control here? This will prevent economic stagnation and create the conditions for growth. Sounds promising. Oil exports. Send management teams to re-establish oil exports from Iran, Saudi Arabia, and West Africa. Okay, but does that lead to, like, us infecting those relevant countries? Is that how this works? I'm not sure yet. Mineral exports. Send management teams to re-establish mineral exports from Turkey, South Africa, and Caribbean. Land trade. So we get land trade routes. Doesn't sound very useful to me since we are in New Zealand, but eventually that could be good. Sea trade sounds like an absolute must. This will enable sea trade between all countries which have a port. Okay, that sounds very important. We're probably going to go for that. Higher tax rate. Increase the level of taxes paid at the highest rate. This will increase your revenue, orange bubbles, whilst... Okay, so our DNA is now officially money, if I'm understanding this correctly. This will increase your revenues while slowing growth and inflation in wealthier areas. It slows the growth, but it also slows the inflation? Is that what I'm to understand from that? Okay. Lower tax threshold. Decrease the threshold for taxes paid at the lowest rate. This will reduce your revenues, but massively boost growth in poor areas. Okay, and then lastly, agricultural exports. Russia, France, Brazil, and USA. I think we're going to go for the sea trade first and foremost. See if we can't open up boats because we are on a island. Manage your economy. You've established a state economy in New Zealand where you control all resources. This is easier to manage and will avoid inflation. Cure percentage. Oh, okay. But unless you open up the market, it will quickly stagnate, falling infectivity. Oh, this is really interesting. First off, I have no grammar to criticize. I like that. Also, apparently this is happening in the year 2016. Oh, did it just automatically pop? I think it did, and we got 22 points! Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll open up the markets. So now we have sea trade and open markets. I imagine the two of those are going to be good in conjunction with each other. Then we have quantitative easing. Oh, that's something the Federal Reserve has been trying to do for the last few years. Boost the economy by creating money to buy assets from private companies, blue bubbles. This can increase your money supply, but might trigger a surge in inflation. So that's presumably going to be falling infectivity if I understood that pop-up correctly. Financial deregulation. Deregulating financial markets will boost short-term growth, but will also lead to higher inflation in the long term. Or interest rates. Raising interest rates will temporarily reduce inflation, but is also a major setback for a short-term growth. Huh. Well, this is fascinating. And then we have corporation tax. Increases the level of taxes paid by corporate startups. Red bubbles, but slightly reduces their initial growth. I feel like this might actually be worth it. The thing is, do we still have severity playing into the red bubbles? Is that still how it works? Economic growth. The open market will stimulate growth, rising infectivity, but it's also harder to manage and will lead to increasing inflation. If inflation reaches 100%, the economy will crash. So we have to manage that. Okay. So growth is infectivity. Inflation is the cure. Got it. So a spike in inflation is dangerous, but might be worth it in the beginning. Okay, I have to wonder if I just chose the most boring of the options. I didn't even know. Yeah, it does definitely pop automatically. Okay, we didn't get much DNA out of that one, but alright. New Zealand is not exactly the wealthiest country in the world. Oops, there we go. We've already managed to infect this completely. Oh, wow, there are definitely not a lot of people left in the world. 7 million is equal to, what would you say this is? 5% of the world? Or something like that? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go for the corporation tax. And as we spread through new nations, I am hopeful that this is going to work out for me. Inflation is starting to go up. So I wonder how unique... Oh, there we go. I wonder how unique every single victory condition is in this game. You know? Don't you wonder? So do I still rely on growth and inflation? Or if I chose the strategy 1 or strategy 3, would this be completely different to what the cure progress means? Possibly. I'm not entirely sure. Why don't we go ahead and get some, probably... Oh, gosh. Why don't we go ahead and get some mineral exports secured for our country? And yes, it does actually open those up. Fascinating. Okay. Well, I don't even have to worry about popping the bubbles. I just need to be careful to manage this cure progress. Which is really cool. So, okay. Gold standard. Linking the value of currency to a fixed amount of gold will significantly reduce and control inflation, but severely limits long-term growth. That actually is pretty close to accurate in real-life terms. Mineral prospects. India and China join. Okay, maybe we want to get agricultural exports, though. That would give us access to a few different nations kind of spread throughout the world, which I think is going to be important. Especially now that we have sea trade. Yeah. Okay, we got Japan. That's good. So now they've joined into our economic, something. Web of awesomeness is what I'm going to call it. Hothouse technology. Sponsor the development of hothouse technology to boost agricultural production in cold and humid regions. Water management. Sponsor water management programs to boost agricultural production in hot and arid regions, and agricultural subsidies for poor and rural areas. Okay. Well, this is definitely one of the most unusual scenarios I think I've ever played. It doesn't feel like I'm actually playing Plague Inc. It feels like I'm playing something completely different. You know? Like, this is some totally different Flash game online or something. Dystopian Economic Management 101. Basically. Do we already have India and China? We do not. We're going to need to secure rights with them. Let's go ahead and get mineral prospects. That should open them up right away. Good. Inflation is still going up. We're going to need to manage that somehow. We definitely don't have access to airports yet. We should probably consider opening up land transportation as well, which requires, what, 16 points now? But I think the gold standard might be more important. Well, maybe, maybe not. Ooh, gosh, I don't know. This is kind of pulling on a weird understanding of economics for me. I mean, I understand the principles behind a lot of this stuff, but in this sort of a system, how does that work? I don't know. You know, like in real life, I'm not so sure going to the gold standard is actually a good idea for us now, but if we had hyperinflation, yeah, absolutely this would be important. I don't think I want to do printing cash. I don't think that I want to do rapid hyperinflation. The extra DNA is tempting, but no. Maybe oil exports, maybe not. Interest rates, temporarily reduce inflation, but so this is going to be like our genetic mimic, or sorry, no, genetic reshuffle. There we go. Major setback for short-term growth. So it reduces infectivity, but reduces the cure progress. Higher inflation in the long term. Quantitative easing. Blue bubbles. This will increase your money supply, but might trigger a surge in inflation. Maybe, maybe not, though. Whoa. We are spreading rather rapidly through some countries. I'm noticing that. Orange bubbles. Do you want the land trade? Yes, I think trade is going to be the most important thing, so... Whoa, okay, yes, that seems to have done quite a bit. The Wealthy Humans Organization, the WHO instead of World Health Organization, is a group of investment bankers who will soon begin sending consultants to invest in private utility companies, blue bubbles. Their activities will undermine state regulation and lead to higher inflation. Okay, so we definitely want to pop those. We are spreading really quickly now. I think getting land trade was a great idea. Do we go... I think we go for the gold standard. I think we need... Yes, it does severely limit long-term growth. I'm aware, but I think we need to control inflation, so that's going to be important. And then maybe I'll go for quantitative easing to try and get me some extra DNA out of those blue bubbles, because we know they're coming, so let's go ahead and do it. All right. So I think that this should... Whoops, we've been placed... Oh, yeah, okay. Well, they apparently didn't change that particular thing. Norway is leading the global cure effort. Okay, so that is where socialist liberal Norway is where the Wealthy Humans Organization is going to be spawning in this particular game. We do get a fairly substantial amount of points out of each of those blue bubbles. I think we got a total of 8 that time around. There's 5 right there. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Maybe we go for the higher tax rate. That would give me extra DNA. Is that what I need right now? Oil exports would give me access to Iran, Saudi Arabia, and West Africa. Do I have access to those? Iran, I do. West Africa, not yet. Saudi Arabia, not yet. Let's go for the oil exports. That would lead to oil prices. Fixing oil prices will help to reduce and control inflation, but the effect on supply will lead to a reduction in land trade. That's pretty close to true. The question is, do we care that much about land trade right now, considering we've already infected most of the nations? Maybe. I'm not sure that's going to affect... Okay, so I don't know if land trade affects our infectivity throughout the world, or if it's going to impact our ability to infect a new country. I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. I think we need something in hot and arid regions. Water management seems pretty good, because we are going to have a hard time spreading through Africa. What's the end goal here, though? Are we just trying to infect the world? Is that what we're trying to do? Maybe. Inflation's definitely too high right now. Well, I don't want the higher inflation. Temporarily reducing inflation. Interest rates could work in a pinch. I'm not sure, though. I don't want to do printing cash. I don't think I want to do financial deregulation, because in the long term, it's going to hurt us a lot. Oil prices? Maybe. I think we may have to go for the oil price fixing. Alright, well, let's take a quick look at the world. We are missing Central America, Morocco, Algeria, Central Africa, and Sudan. We already got some infectivity in the hot and arid regions, which is good. I'm so wigged out that I don't have to click these bubbles. It's freaking me out here. Okay, reduction in land trade. We have infected Everywhere but Morocco now. Maybe we wait until we get Morocco. Poor and rural areas. This also might be good. Might. Let's see. We've infected most of these other places. I think we need to infect Morocco before... There we go. Okay, we've infected Morocco, so let's go for the oil price controls. That should reduce inflation. And I don't know how much it's going to affect anything. Now that we've infected all nations by land borders, does that matter? Is that completely irrelevant? Possibly. I think we need to go for the agricultural subsidies next to try and increase our spread throughout some of these poorer regions. Because right now, I feel like those are the ones that are getting us the most. Also Poland. Poland is having a hard time hitting critical mass. Let's go for those subsidies, and that leads to agricultural prospects. Introduces a program of land reclamation to establish agricultural production in depopulated urban areas. In depopulated... Okay, so this is just to increase infectivity in what would be registered as an urban country like what? Like Italy, presumably. Well, Poland doesn't count toward that, so I don't think that's going to be relevant. Well, we are starting to hit critical mass there regardless, so I'm not too worried about it. It's really things like Central Africa. What are we missing here? Central Africa and Morocco are the only two that have not been fully infected. Does anything else matter? Am I missing a victory condition here? I don't know. I don't think so. These are considered to be poor areas, yes? Morocco is poor. Central Africa is poor. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the lower tax threshold. This will reduce my revenue, but it shouldn't matter if I massively boost the growth in the poor countries, which is these two. The only two that matter, I think. So we should be seeing those spike up, and we did. There we go. World economy established. You've established an economy in every country and brought order to the world. Your policies will dominate the political landscape for generations. Shame it brought so much inequality and greed, but that's capitalism for you. Hey now! Hey now! That's an unnecessary assertion. What makes you think it brought inequality and greed? I actually took a very protectionist and progressive outlook on this. How dare you? Well, we now know what this creator thinks about capitalism. Very stereotypical. So, we finished this. The whole world worships... Well, no. No, that's... change this, please. This does not need to be this way. The victory menu should change. Okay, we actually got 3 stars. So apparently this was one pretty good way to do things. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be playing this 2 more times. I'm going to create 2 more videos on the After the Plague scenario, and I'm going to do the other 2 strategies and see how those pull off. It could be kind of fun. I don't know. I like the variety in this. Now, it's weird that I didn't have to worry about any transmission or abilities. I really stuck to just one tree the entire way. But that worked. Seemed to do just fine. So I don't know, I like this. This did not feel like Plague Inc. though, let's be honest. It used a lot of the base mechanics, but it did not feel like Plague Inc. It just felt like a mini-game of some sort of other, like I said, Economic Management 101. But that said, let's see how things get changed when I do the other types of scenarios. I'm going to release all of those this week. Yes, I absolutely recommend that. That's pretty fun. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to play those other ones. We're going to see how that turns out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.